Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Cale Self and I am the Assistant Director of Bands and Professor of Music at the University of West Georgia here in beautiful Carrollton. I am ecstatic to be your euphonium baritone instructor for scale and rhythm chunks once again, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a low brass person, so you can see my trombone and my tuba here as well, but my primary instrument is euphonium. I've been playing for a little over 30 years. I grew up as a athlete in West Texas and found band and euphonium in middle school, high school, really fell in love with it. I ended up going to a music ed school and getting a music education degree and a master's degree in conducting from West Texas A&M University up in Canyon, home of the second largest canyon in the United States. And then I started teaching high school band back in my hometown of Midland. Not long thereafter, I got an opportunity to study with a couple of world famous tuba players out in Arizona, and that kind of launched my career into its second spot, which was performance side. So I went to the University of Georgia and completed a doctorate in euphonium performance, and then got my job here at West Georgia, and I've been here for 13 years. So we'll get started here in just a second. The first thing I want to talk to you about is holding your instrument and having great posture or alignment in your chair. The number one thing that we have to do is make sure that we keep our torso in a manner that is consistent with what we do when we stand up. So in the chair, we want to be thinking from the hips up like we're standing. There's two easy ways to do that. Number one is make sure that we've got the lower back moving towards the belly button. That's going to create that natural inner curvature of the spine. It's going to really open up the chest and allow the ribs to float freely when we inhale and exhale. Like that. And if you want to find out the wrong way to do that, you can always just go like this and then take a breath and feel how awful that feels. So we want to be here. The second thing we want to do is make sure that when we bring the instrument to us, we don't damage any of that great alignment that we've got. Okay? So while we've got that lower back pushing forward, nice inner curvature of the lower back, we're going to keep our knees lower than our hips in order to maintain that and create some stability in the chair. And then we're going to bring the instrument to us. All right, that's very important because a lot of times what we want to do as euphonium players is we want to put the horn in our lap. And as you can see, I'm a pretty tall torso dude. So when I do that, this is what happens. And now if I try to take a breath and play, bad things happen. So I want to maintain this right here and then bring the instrument to me. Now, if holding the instrument up is an issue, there are several things that can help us out with that. Number one, they make a strap to wrap around the instrument here that kind of goes through, your hand goes through it, that will help you out holding the instrument with your left hand. Number two, you can, I did this for many years when I was in college, you can take a towel, like a beach towel, and roll it up pretty tightly, put some tape around it, and then put it on your left thigh here, and you can set your instrument on top of it to where you've got that. Or you can be like me and just work on the guns a little. Oh, sorry, that hurt. My bad. Okay, anyway, so the idea is bring the instrument to you and maintain that great posture and alignment in the chair as we play. Everybody got it? Awesome. Hey, chunk friends. This is Dr. Self here with my trusty Shire's Q41 euphonium and my Parker mouthpiece, just to talk to you a little bit about going through these and things to think about as you're moving through all your chunks from the bronze all the way to the platinum. First thing is finger technique. As euphonium players, we tend to struggle a lot with getting our fingers out over the buttons like this and playing with the wrong parts of our fingers. We don't want to do that. We want to think about being more like a piano player. So get that thumb right in here and touch the back of that first button and then curve the fingers, all right? Ideally, you really don't want your hand to be much in touch with the finger bar here. We want to keep it nice and over, and that way you've got good technique throughout, and you're pushing buttons down the right way. A lot of times when you have sticky valves, it's because your finger technique is actually pushing force that way instead of that way. So we want to make sure that we're using good finger technique on the instrument. Also, for those of you that have a euphonium with a fourth button on the side, I would highly suggest that you use it anytime C or F is called for. 1 and 3 is just not an in-tune combination on euphonium because we don't have a kick slide or a first valve saddle like trumpet players do. If you have a euphonium that has 4 valves upright here, you can play that with your pinky, or I would even suggest moving your left hand over and playing it like this so that you get used to this for whenever you get a horn like this. Anyways, those are my suggestions for having good finger technique throughout all of your chunks and your chunk challenges. Good. Couple things to think about while you're breathing. Number one, I want to reiterate, always keep the air in motion. But number two, make the focal point be here at the lips. We want to feel the drag of the air on the way in as we breathe in, and we want to blow the lips out towards the instrument into the mouthpiece on the way out. Now, if we want to make sure that we're doing these things properly, we can use what we call breathing monitors. On the way in, we're going to make a little karate chop hand, put it right in front of our face like this. And what that's going to do is create friction, so we'll hear a sound as air passes around the sides of your hands like this. On the way out, if we want to do the same thing, we're going to, instead of making it an aural sensation, we're going to make it a tactile sensation and just blow against the palm of the hand. And that way we can feel the evenness, the constancy of the air as we do it. Okay, so we're listening for a great sound on the way in. We're feeling for that great air on the way out. Do it together with me. 1 and 2, 4 and 4. There we go. That's a great quick check to make sure that you're moving your air the correct way to power the instrument properly. If you'd like to delve deeper into this, I would highly suggest looking into the Breathing Gym Pedagogy by Sam Palafian and Patrick Sheridan. Thanks a bunch. We're about to get into some chunks.